television shows, Rob,
Yes.
recommendation you gave me was Severance.
Oh, Severance, yes.
Okay.
Freaking love Severance.
I'm all caught up. I have watched it. That was a really good recommendation. Thumbs up.
That show is crazy.
Here's my thought.
What do you got?
Another recommendation you gave me, also from Apple TV, was For All Mankind. Fucking awesome show.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
A recommendation that I have given to both of you, which I doubt either of you have followed up on, but you damn well should, is Jason Momoa's C.
Yeah. That's on my list of shit to start watching because I watched your video on that.
So going back to my previous apathy when I'm scanning through Hulu and just being like, oh, fuck, there's nothing in Netflix, and Apple TV, which I do not have, seems to be kicking ass with original new content, original new programming, right?
Do they do the Raised by Wolves or is that HBO?
I don't think they do.
Because I'm also into that.
I watched like the first maybe 5 episodes and then I stopped because I got kind of bored.
The second season is way better than the first. I've only seen a few episodes in, but so far the plot is vastly more comprehensible. And they're actually letting, people have realistic motives and telling us what people are doing. I mean, it got a little arty in the first one. I really liked elements of it, but I felt lost throughout most of it. And I still felt lost at the very, last of it. And the second season has come back, and now it's like all of a sudden I'm grounded. I'm centered. I know where I am in the story. I know who the characters are and what they're up to. That's what I need. It still feels like the same show, but it feels like somebody else has gotten onto the writing staff and said, we gotta make this a little more accessible.
Another thing, when I was staying at you and Andy's place, and Andrew recommended and got me reading DMZ, graphic novel.
Oh, right. I've got some things to say about fucking DMZ. Holy shit.
Uh-oh.
I watched the first episode of this. Oh my God, what a...
Did they replace the main character, White Man, with Rosario Dawson?
Yes.
Okay, so they
absolutely
brown-washed that.
Yes.
And what else do you have to say about it?
Just how it sucked. Oh my God. Okay, from what I got, I don't know, about 5 minutes in, me and Andrew just started ripping on it a lot. And so I missed a lot of what was actually going on, but it was just relentless exposition. They just beat you over the head with exposition to the point where it could be, I keep expecting Rosario Dawson to just show up and start explaining how shit works in my regular life. It was like a half hour into it before anything fucking happened at all, because she was just too busy. There was voiceovers, and then she was explaining, and then other characters would show up and explain shit, and then it'd go back to her explaining shit, and oh my God, stop explaining things. It was, you have to get us into the show before anyone's interested. It's just such amateur, I don't know, like 7th grade writing. You're too lazy to put in the fucking, to let the plot actually unfold. You have a little synopsis of what your world's going to be like, and you got to make sure everybody says that immediately. Well, since we're on Discord for the first time here, and we're doing this watch party thing, which we've done for quite some time, and you two are my brothers. And so, and we do have kind of a thing here, so it makes it a fairly entertaining thing, and we enjoy it a lot.
Mike, he's expositing right now. I don't know if you picked up on that, but
he's expositing. Yes, he is. He's expositing.
Because this is how we converse with one another normally in the course of events.
Well, I'm glad you saw it, because I was going to say good news, big news. They're doing DMZ, good news.
The worst thing I've seen in so long.
I have yet to watch it, so that's good. Wait, is she a lesbian also, or is she just a brown-skinned person, female playing a white dude?
They didn't really get into any relationships, although at the beginning she was being led around by a clear lesbian.
Who's black, who's gay. That's the Hollywood.
Pretty much, yeah. It was her, and she had lost her son in the evacuation of the city, and for some reason it took her 6 fucking years to hire a lesbian to break her back into New York. They woke the shit out of this. Every main character is some ethnicity, and every cop is white. And the cops are all just beating people down and, forcing them into lines and shit.
Big picture on the whole woke thing is, it might take a while because there's a certain amount of inertia in Hollywood, but I think people are actually starting to like look at their bottom line over the past 2 years and be like, why the fuck is all this stuff we're putting out failing? Wheel of Time, that should have been the new Game of Thrones, but it's not. Why do the fans hate us? Why does everyone hate Wheel of Time? Why does everyone hate fucking the upcoming unreleased as yet Lord of the Rings? They're starting to realize. I don't think they maybe they didn't talk to the right people. Well, I mean, if that happened in a movie, if it happened one time or two times, it wouldn't stand out. It wouldn't be at all odd. People wouldn't be flying off the handle. But the fact that it happens every time, every movie, it's gotten to the point where even if you don't fucking acknowledge it, you're being preached to. People are losing money. People are fucking up in Hollywood and they're losing money. And I think hopefully they're starting to realize.
My whole thought on that is, be as woke as you want, but make it fucking interesting. You can have your character can be as black and as gay as you want them to be, but I'd make a compelling story about it. Going back to like Severance that we were just talking about, Christopher Walken and dude from Transformers there. I love their little relationship that's developing, man. That's like the cutest thing. I'm like so into them.
You see it happening, and part of me is like, I don't want to see Walken naked. I mean, maybe John Turturro. I mean, he was the Jesus. He filled out that jumpsuit. Maybe he'd look good naked, but not Christopher Walken. So,
but have your gay relationships, but make them interesting. Make it something I want to be invested in. You're telling me a story.
If you want to have a protagonist that's black and gay, don't co-opt an existing one. Make a new character. Make a new character. Don't make Rand Al Thor black and gay. Make a fucking new character. I don't mind that. New topic. I went to the movie theater for the first time in like maybe 2 years to watch Batman.
Ooh, okay.
Because Batman.
It was Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, or is it Doofy?
It was Zoe Kravitz.
I got some commentary on fucking Zendaya.
Really? You do?
I do.
Why?
Yes. This triggers me because I have to know who this person is. I was never interested in knowing who this person is. This knowledge was forced on me. It occupies part of my brain now, and it angers me that it does.
You're wondering why you should give a shit about her.
All I've seen her do is look over her shoulder in slow motion about 14 times in the fucking Dune movie.
So you've never seen her in anything else?
She was in Spider-Man. That's all I really get is her. But, how you going to come at me with one name like that? Fuck you. You don't have, the history, the talent to be one name. You're not Oprah. You're not Prince. I think if you're going to be a one-name person, you need to have the gravitas to back that up. And I do not get it from this person. And I don't really know anything about her except it's fucking Zendaya. And just fuck you. It just bothers me.
Do you think when Cher was 18 and just called herself Cher, everybody was like, oh, yeah, you're a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Cher's got the talent to back that up, okay? If you tell Cher that she needs to use her full name, she will say, fuck you, I'm Cher, and you will be able to say nothing.
Okay, have you heard that one Zendaya song?
No, why would I hear a Zendaya song?
Neither have I. I actually don't even know.
Does she sing? I'm assuming she's like a TikTok star or something. I don't know. They all are nowadays.
New topic. While I was in the... first of all, sorry. I mentioned Batman because I was going to introduce a new topic, but I can see where we get stuck on Batman. Batman was awesome, great, Robat Patton Pat, or whatever the fuck his name is. He did a really, really awesome job. It was the best Batman movie, 3/4 of it. The last quarter of the movie, they kind of shat the bed, gave up, and didn't really try too hard, which I think is almost to its credit because they didn't have some kind of big Infinity War Endgame pageantry of battle or any shit like that. They didn't have any. It kind of deflated for the last quarter of the movie, but I did not really mind it that much. But it was Batman detecting. It was Batman young, inexperienced, very little fucking weaponry, very little. It was fucking awesome. I loved the shit out of it. I think they're going in the right direction, and we should have more.
Yeah, I have some Batman commentary as well here. I didn't see the movie, but anybody who's described it to me has described it to me as, much more gritty and realistic. And in the middle of anybody telling me about how gritty and realistic it is, I just like to interject with, he's dressed like a bat, He's running around the streets dressed in a bat suit.
So that could not be gritty or realistic for you.
No. He's basically a furry. It's just weird to me. I don't know. That you shouldn't go gritty and realistic when you're running around dressed as a bat. It's just a weird thing to do.
as part of the detective-ishness, which no other Batman movie has gotten anywhere near, and that's one of his most defining characteristics. World's greatest detective. World's greatest detective, I think, fucking Sherlock Holmes. Genius. Weird.
Sure. Who did not need to dress like any type of rodent.
But as part of doing the detective story, there's a lot of scenes where a bunch of cops around a crime scene, a murder scene, and Jim Gordon meets Batman outside. He's like, all right, come on in. And he brings him in. That was my black voice, by the way. He brings him in to the crime scene, and Batman isn't like, I mean, he is kind of a creature of the night in the shadows, but there's plenty of scenes where it's him and like 5 cops and Jim Gordon in a room. And the cops are all like, what the fuck is this cosplaying douchebag doing here? They didn't say that, but you could see that on all their faces. And they're all looking at him like, what the fuck, Gordon? What is this asshole doing here? And Gordon's like, shut the fuck up. This is my crime scene. So there were lots of scenes where Batman had to not be the, mysterious creature of the night nebulous because he was detecting. Jim Gordon had him detecting. So you could almost see what you were saying, Rob, as an undercurrent where a lot of the cops were saying like, dude's dressed as a fucking bat. What are you doing, Gordon? And Gordon's like, shut the fuck up. So that they kind of acknowledged that a little bit. They didn't like hang a fucking like flag on it or anything, but it was there. If you like Batman, and I'm not talking about Joel Schumacher Batman, but if you like Batman, like the essence of what makes Batman, like in the comics and stuff, you will enjoy the Robat Pat movie.
I still have never seen anything better than the Tim Burton Batmans. That's my Batman.
Which one is the one Michael Keaton was in?
The Tim Burton one.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, because that one, you don't question a guy running around in a suit. They didn't go for gritty and realistic.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah, the whole universe was crazy, and having another crazy guy in the party was just what happens.
Yeah, makes sense.
He couldn't look left or right, and that's an issue with me. I know they were just figuring out the whole rubber Batman suit thing. They were pioneers, but he couldn't move his head left or right, and that's a problem.
And then Nicholson dancing to Prince and ruining all those art exhibits, that was maybe the greatest.
It was a great Nicholson performance, but it was a horrible Joker performance. I will say that. It had problems.
Well, yeah, which would, be valid concerns if he was trying to be gritty and realistic, but they were trying to be stylistic in that, and that was all style.
I have problems when style trumps substance.
Unless the style is done well.
Speaking of style done well, I saw a preview for a movie that is going to be coming out very soon. It is called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Do y'all know what this is?
No, please explain.
It's Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage.
No,
he's playing Nicolas Cage, and
no, the greatest role of all time. Some would say.
His what's homeboy's name that plays the Mandalorian and plays
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. He's like this evil drug lord, but Nick doesn't know it, and Pedro like entices him to come and hang out at his mansion in like fucking Spain or somewhere. And then the CIA contacts Nick Cage and is like, this guy's like a killer. He's like a drug lord. He's arms dealing. And so they tried to get him to like, turn him in or work against him. And I think Nick Cage has such like a bromance with Pedro that he's like, I can't do it. And like adventures ensue. And it looks like the coolest fucking movie in the world. Because much like Jean-Claude Van Damme leaned into his Van Damme-ness for JCVD and the series, it looks fucking awesome. It looks like the triumph of the century. So
how does one play Nicolas Cage, the man of 1,000 roles?
Be on the lookout for that.
This sounds amazing. I will check this out.
Oh my god, I feel like it's going to be just various Nicolas Cage characters playing Nicolas Cage.
You ever see that episode of Community where he was trying to figure out if Nicolas Cage was good or not?
Damn, girl, I have seen every episode of Community.
And it was just driving him slowly insane because there was no way to...
Yeah, he's in the class, and the guy from... Groundhog Day, the insurance salesman, is teaching the class, and Abed basically ends up schooling him on the whole thing. And also,
which, speaking of that, have I ever told you guys my theory on Groundhog Day? It was all Ned Ryerson. He was behind it all. He's like some sort of crazed time god, and he keeps people trapped in a day until they buy insurance from him, because that was what let him out. At no point in the movie is he shown purchasing insurance until the final day, where he buys the full package, and then he's out. Boom. That's all he wanted. That's all Ned wanted every time.
That's all Time Lord Ned Ryerson wanted.
Yeah, exactly. He is a rogue Gallifreyan.
And he does that to people all the time. Like
Oh, yeah,
constantly.
yeah. Bill Murray's like the 100th guy he's done it to. He's just traps people in time loops all the time. That's how he makes his quotas, and he, gets his like free coffee mug and watch.
I don't know if I agree with this, because, I mean, he lives in Punxsutawney, so, like, the only time people come to town is at one time a year, so, like, that's a pretty limited audience.
I don't think he lives in Punxsutawney. I think he goes where he pleases in his TARDIS. And he just finds somebody who he deems with his, Time Lord magic that they need insurance because they're walking around criminally underinsured.
On national holidays, he just goes around.
Exactly. And he will, track them down, and he will force them. He will trap them there for eternity until they, purchase a acceptable level of insurance. He is some insane god of time and insurance.
All right, let me read this paragraph. Let me read this brief paragraph for y'all. This is about the Nick Cage movie. Creatively unfulfilled and facing financial ruin, the fictionalized version of Cage must accept a $1 million offer to attend the birthday party of a dangerous superfan, Pedro Pascal. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when Cage is recruited by a CIA operative and forced to live up to his own legend, channeling his most iconic and beloved on-screen characters in order to save himself and his loved ones.
Oh, yes.
With a career built for this very moment, the seminal award-winning actor must take on the role of a lifetime, Nicolas Cage.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. It is just a bunch of Nick Cage characters playing Nick Cage.
Oh my god.
That's so reverse meta. That's amazing.
Yeah. We need this movie, and we must watch this movie.
That's what Hollywood's been lacking for the longest time, is the bravery and creativity to do something like that. Kenobi, coming out May 25th. Does anyone give a fuck?
I give a tremendous fuck, yes.
I gave more of a fuck before I made the mistake of watching Boba Fett.
I'm kind of right there.
I just worry they're going to screw this up just as bad.
With respect.
It's not as bad as Doctor Who, but it's getting there.
Well, how bad does something have to be to make me like the prequels?
Yeah, exactly. At least they were identifiably Star Wars.
The prequels are objectively shit. And yet now, after seeing the fucking the postquels, holy fucking shit.
Oh god, give me Phantom Menace.
I give you the three afters were terrible. But Rogue One was great.
Rogue One was okay.
Rogue One was great.
Here's why Rogue One was not good, is because Rogue One actually exists in canon and has nothing to do with that or that team or those people, and they should not have appropriated that fucking name. But it was a good movie.
It was a damn good movie.
All right. Yes, it was, but also during the movie, I found myself thinking of various, it's one of those things where you're watching it and thinking, oh, they really should have done this instead, and it would have made it a better movie. Okay, a little thought exercise. If you're watching Rogue One, what if Darth Vader never appeared until the very end in the corridor? What if that was the first time you saw it? Wouldn't that have been so much more impactful and blown you so much more out the back of the wall?
I'm sorry, Rogue One was a spectacular movie without Darth Vader.
He wasn't necessary. You didn't need him till the very end. Before that, he was just only there so you could note how he didn't sound like Darth Vader used to sound.
Yeah, I didn't even need him at the end. It was such a good movie that, like, the last, 20 seconds, I was like, oh, look at that.
The fact that I complain about the prequels and you come up with one good movie that Star Wars has done post George Lucas.
Also, The Mandalorian was a wonderful series.
The Mandalorian was good. It was good. It had its moments. I liked it.
Yes, it was good.
I think I lend extra weight to the fact that it was on the, sitting on the fence, shitty or good, acceptable or not. It fell onto the good side, and that was such a novel fucking thing.
Yeah,
that
really.
I lend it more weight. But anyway, Disney bought Star Wars and shat the bed. They have shat the bed. They've lost a lot of money. They've lost a lot of fans. They fucked up. They fucked up.
They drove it right off a cliff, though.
Poor deluded bastards.
Because they don't understand Star Wars. They don't get it.
I know they don't understand fans. They don't watch fucking YouTube. They're too busy driving around in their Maseratis and talking on their cell phones or wherever the fuck people in Hollywood do. Fucking Hollywood. Hollywood needs to die.
A worse example of that is what they've done to Star Trek. I mean, you want to talk about somebody buying a property they don't understand.
It's gotten to the point now where things will get over a tipping point for me where I just don't acknowledge. So if somebody's giving commentary like New Rock Stars, I used to watch them all the time, but do you know what I'm talking about, Rob? New Rock Stars? It's a YouTube channel. It's been around for a long time. It's humongous.
I've never heard of this one, no.
Well, when they're talking about Star Wars and they're bringing up things like Black Chrysanthemum, the big Chewbacca Wookiee dude who showed up.
Fuck that guy. He was the worst.
He has a storied past in canon, Star Wars comic books. So when he showed up on screen, a lot of people are like, holy shit, I know who that is. That's Black Chrysanthemum. But New Rockstar is a channel that I used to watch and like a lot. They're talking about something like that. And they'll bring up canon, and I'm cool with that. I love that. But then they apply it or reference or bring up the sequel. I immediately discount everything they're saying. The fact that they acknowledge that and bring that into the conversation is wrong. You can't acknowledge those movies. You can't bring things that happen in those movies. Like, I don't want to hear shit about Kylo Ren. I don't want to hear shit about Leia floating around like fucking Tinkerbell. If you bring that shit into the conversation, then, you know, conversation done. We're done. We're not talking about the same fucking thing. We're not talking about the same canon, the same story. Fuck you.
I thought they were going to decanonize those last three.
I hope so.
I would think the way you'd want to start the next Star Wars series is the way they ended New Heart.
Hey, wake up, you won't believe the dream I just had.
Well, if you can pull a J.J. Abrams where you completely decanonize everything that happened before, that way you can have your own little bullshit, woke, fucking lens flary mystery box bullshit, J.J. Abrams shit, bad reboot, bad robot bullshit. If you can do that, if you can blow up fucking Vulcan in your first goddamn attempt out the door, then if you have that power, then fuck it. You know, the good guys should have that power too, and they should be able to just completely, you know, Groundhog Day or reverse or time warp or whatever the fuck. All right, now speaking of ruined franchises, one of the things that I have on my list,
Doctor Who.
Yeah. My question about Doctor Who is, what would it take to get you back? Like, Rob, I assume you have not watched much or any or regularly any of the Jodie Whittaker.
I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes until I got tired of them shaking their finger at me and telling me how I should think.
Yes.
Wasn't this a show about, you know, time traveling adventures? What happened?
So, Rob, what would it take to get you back to Doctor Who?
Back to Doctor Who. You would have to basically flush the entire, you know, writing production team and reset the universe, which actually isn't that hard a feat for a show constructed like Doctor Who is. It needs to die and be dead for a good 5-10 years.
I don't need a delay of my time. I need them to decanonize everything having to do with Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, flush it. Get rid of it.
And I wouldn't mind in the future a female Time Lord. I would not object to it.
Yeah, I have no problem with that at all.
As long as it's good and not preachy. As long as it's good and not
this
preachy.
One. She's terrible.
All right, so let me ask you something. Have you heard various talking about if they bring, now that Disney has the X-Men and has had Marvel for a while, have you heard about some possible Wolverine casting options?
Oh, God.
This can only be bad.
They should just drop it. Drop the Wolverine thing. Find somebody else.
How ethnic and or gay are we talking here?
Have y'all seen the Kingsman movies?
I've seen the one where the thing with the anal girl.
Same as Mike. Anal girl, yes. Yes,
Okay.
Same, I've only seen the first one.
It's an umbrella and a girl who wants it in the butt.
Taron Egerton, the actor, would he be a bad Wolverine?
Yes, he would.
I could see him Wolverineing it up. I think he might work.
Pull up his picture. His eyes are too wide.
I'm not going to do that. That sounds stupid.
He doesn't look like a hunter. He looks like prey. He's no.
Quick thing about Kingsman, though. Kingsman, I think, is the best James Bond film ever, minus James Bond. Just like Pacific Rim was the greatest Godzilla movie ever, minus Godzilla.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. As I do this, I want you to keep an open mind, okay? At first, you're going to rebel. Your mind is going to say, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no. But I just want you to let it, like, kind of marinate for a moment.
Is it going to
okay?
be Robert Pattinson?
It's worse.
No, fuck off. No.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. Radcliffe? Oh, wait.
Oh, Rob sees it.
No, hell no.
No, I see it because Radcliffe, I really respect as an actor.
Radcliffe is 5'4". Put a helmet on him and then make him...
Hey, Mike, you know who else is 5'4"? Fucking Wolverine.
He's supposed to be 5'4". That's good.
Well, that doesn't line up to my cinematic history.
Fuck your cinematic history. I'm talking about comic books. I'm talking about real canon. Wolverine is a short runt. People call him runt. Hugh Jackman is about 8 inches too tall to be Wolverine.
Dude, Radcliffe could do it. Holy shit.
Think
Go,
about
Daniel Radcliffe. So
look at that picture of him. Look at him. Look at the picture. He's a little bit jacked in that picture. He's got the Wolverine fucking chest fur.
Wasn't Radcliffe in that neo-Nazi film?
Yeah, that's true. He was in the neo-Nazi film. Yeah, okay.
A little bit of a tough guy when he needed to be. I'm just gonna say, keep an open mind. Just saying that might be I don't know. I think it'd be good. I trust him, just like I trusted Robert Pattinson. I trust.
You know, I think the next X-Men iteration needs to focus less on Wolverine.
Amen. Jesus.
I mean, where's Colossus? Where's Cyclops? You know, where's Storm? Have some of the best X-Men there with the best stories, and they basically just get, you know, brushed to the side. And Hugh Jackman did a pretty good job, especially in Logan, but, you know, just knock it off with the Wolverine for a little while.
They have 8 different origin stories, and everybody got so goddamn sick of it. And like, to non-comic book readers whose only exposure to the X-Men is cinema, they think it's all about Wolverine. They think it's Wolverine and the X-Men, like that cartoon, which I think was poorly titled. But fuck Wolverine. We've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. There's so much more going on for the fucking goddamn X-Men. X-Men, the greatest thing to happen to comics ever. And they just are gay for Wolverine. And I mean, yeah, he's cool on stage. He sings show tunes real well and dances well. I can understand gay people being gay for him. But fuck you, Hugh Jackman. It's not his fault. I don't know. He did
a good job with the role.
He did a good job. He did the impossible. It
is more from a writing perspective that they just couldn't think of any stories that didn't directly involve Wolverine.
He won over a bunch of naysayers. I was a naysayer. You can't possibly cast Wolverine and make me like it. And they did right from the first fucking movie. So yay, Hugh Jackman. But fuck you, writers. Stop it. Make Cyclops. That's you know, it's like when I hear they're coming out with DMZ, I like DMZ the comic, and then they come out with it and I know it's going to suck. They're going to fuck it up. I'm ever hopeful and ever disappointed. Like, what was the last thing that met my expectations?
Oh, good question.
Game of Thrones season 1.
The Boys.
Oh, The Boys was good.
The Boys was amazing, and another good one that has come out even more recently than that was Invincible.
Yes.
I was so blown away by that. That was amazing.
Is that the Marky Mark movie where he makes the Philadelphia Eagles? Because that is a good story.
On Amazon Prime, it's a animated thing, Invincible.
No,
based on a comic.
Dude, go watch that immediately. That is so good. It's better. I mean, it's the only thing that could make me possibly say maybe it was better than The Boys.
I will, but what I have to do first is I have to go watch Invincible with Marky Mark.
You're gonna start watching it, and you're gonna be like, okay, you know, decent animation, decent story. I don't get what the whole deal is. This is you watching the first episode, right? You're going to watch it, and it'll be nearing like the 50-minute point. You're going to be like, that was all right, but my brothers are fucking stupid. I can't believe they recommended this. This isn't that great. I'm not really into this shit. Keep watching. The last fucking like 3 minutes of the show, episode 1, watch that. Watch it to the end.
It left turns so bad. It runs you right into a wall. You're like, oh my God, what's happening?
Can I just fast forward to the...
No, you absolutely can't. You have to, you have to get involved in it and get involved in the story.
And I'll say this, it shouldn't have been a left turn because you should have already read the comic. Just saying. I'm one of those douchebags who needs to point out every time they've read something before they watched it.
Yeah, good work there. Another thing I'd like to say about Invincible, they do have one of the best superhero names I've ever heard on one of the members of the new Justice League.
Is it the Explodey guy?
No, I do really like his name. He was Rexplosion. That was awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but the other girl there, the one who can split into multiple people, and she's
Replicate.
No, she's Duplicate. Yeah,
Duplicate. Okay.
I love Duplicate. That's just the best name.
It's well thought out, really, really obviously based on, you know, like, here's our Justice League, here's our, you know, like the boys do. They equate things to things. And it's just so good. It was such a good comic. If they keep going with it, and goddamn, that's a Seth Rogen thing, right?
It is a Seth Rogen one, yeah. And they are getting a second season.
We need to really give some credit to Seth Rogen for taking things that I love and making them into things that I love. Because The Boys is Seth Rogen, Invincible, Seth Rogen. He's doing it.
That's true. We need to send him like a box of chocolates or something.
A gift basket.
With fruit in it.
Just tell him to stop being on camera with his shirt off and we're good. New topic. I don't know if you've watched all of my videos, but the last couple of times that I've put these chats, these pre-video chats up, I try to make what I can out of them. I'll make a video about just anything we talk about, as long as it's...
You do a pretty good job with the editing, too, because I remember the conversations and you put it all together much more concisely than we ever actually discussed openly. So, you know, golf clap there. Kudos.
Thank you. And a lot of it is just filler. I'm like, I need to buy myself time to edit these big, long-ass watch parties. So twice in these random chats, I've had my dream report. I dreamed of the car named Krampus, and I dreamed of, I dreamed of something else. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to become a segment, but I had a dream. And I don't think after I tell you about this is going to be in any way funny, and I'm probably going to cut it, and it's not going to work. But this happened. This was on the 14th, so 5 days ago. I woke up, and usually when you wake up from a dream, you don't remember the whole dream at once. You remember one thing that happened, one scene, one event, and then you're like, oh, that was a dream. That didn't happen. And then you start like piecing together all the other things that happened, and you get up, and of course you got to pee when you first wake up, so you're peeing, and you're like, oh, fuck, that happened too. That was weird. That was really fucking weird. And you like string it together. Okay. So
I usually pee before I get up. It's a problem.
You still have the crinkly plastic baby sheets. All right. So this is with the virtue of hindsight. This is me being able to remember as much as I can remember and structuring it as a story. All right. So 5 days ago, I woke up and I remember the dream. And chronologically speaking, I was in Stafford County, Virginia, and the 610 I-95 interchange had turned into this ginormous convoluted cloverleaf.
Which I believe it actually has.
It very well might have. I have not been there.
Because I've driven by it and gone, holy shit.
Our childhood is gone.
Back when I was truck driving, that was a common route.
Route did that. I was late for some kind of military ROTC type class. Childhood high school friend of mine, Scott McKinnon, picked me up in Big Blue. Big Blue is this giant baby, like powder blue Ford pickup truck, like 1980 something Ford F1 something, big giant truck that my college roommate named Fred used to drive. So Scott was driving Fred's truck, picked me up, and I'm late, and we got mixed up in all these clover leaves, and I knew I was going to be late. And so we had to go by the student union of whatever fucking college was involved in the stream. I don't know, because I had to get my uniform and my books. So I stand in line. I get to my safe deposit box. I get it. As I'm walking out of the student union, a purse snatcher runs into me, falls down, and the campus bike police capture him. And then in the next scene, I show up to class, and the instructor, who's wearing the full military Class A uniform, is like, son, this is military theory. You're training to be a soldier. There's a waiting list for this class with 3 people who I guarantee would be here on time. What was so goddamn important that it kept you from attending my class on time? And I stood up and I stood at attention. I said, I was fighting crime, sir. He said, the hell you say to me, boy? But it was like a real drop the mic moment. Like everybody in class was like, damn, that guy's kind of a badass. All right, and then like the last thing I remember doing was giving him the campus bike police case number, being like, "Look, I actually thwarted crime. I'm going to take my seat now." And all the girls in the class were all looking at me. Okay, now none of that is that funny. That's just weird. But here's the thing. Like I said, when you wake up, you don't remember the whole story. You remember like one little like scene or one little hook, and then you piece it all together. So when I woke up and I'm peeing, and I remember as I was in the student union waiting in line to get to my safe deposit box, and before I thwarted the crime, I'm waiting in line. And you know how in a student union you could be waiting in line and you look over and there's like this lounge area with a big TV and a lot of people sitting around a couch? That was going on. And there was a Backstreet Boys video on the television, and all the girls were just fucking like loving it. They were screaming.
Rock your body.
And so they're on stage singing, and there's all these girls in the crowd just going ape shit. And okay, this is the part that I don't think is gonna like make it funny. This isn't funny. Okay, so in my head, my mind created lyrics for this song. I don't know Backstreet. I'm very much an NSYNC guy. I can name the whole cast of NSYNC. I'm an NSYNC guy.
It's NKOTB or nothing, man.
That's old school. I respect it. I had to look up this dude's name. Nick Carter is the only one I know from fucking Backstreet. So I had to look up this guy's name. It's the other blonde dude, Brian Luttrell. He's singing. He's belting into the mic. All the girls in the crowd are going crazy. And the line he was singing was, "Whatever path that you choose, whatever dude you doodle do."
What?
So he was saying, "I will always love you no matter what path you choose. No matter what guy you sleep with, I'm still with you." But what he said was, "Whatever dude you doodle do." So I'm peeing into the toilet, and in my head just pops up, "Whatever dude you doodle do." And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And that's where the whole dream comes like crashing down on me, and I remember everything based on that dude from fucking Backstreet saying, "Whatever dude you doodle do."
Everybody.
So there's that.
Doodle do, all right.
That happened.
So yeah, that's a good story.
I don't know if that was a lot to go through just to get to that point, but
That was a
happened.
lot, yeah.
And that'll do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for going on this journey with us. Let me know how you liked it in the comments section. And also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel as we bring you more thoughtful and intriguing content in the future.